welcome to QETV Live Show with your host, Miss H. It is such an honor to be presenting to you today, to sharing with my audience out there, my special guest I have in the studio today. She's no stranger to a lot of you, but I want to reintroduce her to my viewers and to a lot of you in the DMV. But before we do, I just need you to right now go subscribe to Vox Wave and catch me live here every Thursday from 1:30 to 2:30 on Vox Wave. Yes, that's live every Thursday on QETV live on Vox Wave from 1:30 to 2:30. You can catch me. If you go over to the Vox Wave, that's VOXWAV, subscribe, you can catch us live right now in the studio. You don't want to miss this show today. If you are in love with fashion, you love designs, and you are thinking about maybe becoming an emerging designer, you're going to hear the story of a designer that's right here local in the DMV, how she got started on her journey, how she got connected with DC Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week, and started her journey. And from there, you'll hear the rest of her story. So right now, I want you to IG someone. I want you to follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, and let us know that you're watching QETV Live. Tell someone, share someone with someone, like us on Facebook, and we will also let you know how to get a hold of our special guest today. But for right now, I just want to say to all my August birthdays out there, yours truly is born in the month of August. So August, welcome to August 2019, to all my August birthday buddies. You know, this is our time to celebrate. Last year I took the whole month and we talked about looking up what August means, the month of August. Celebrate the day you were born. Yes, it's important to celebrate. My birthday is next Wednesday, so I'm just letting everyone know, August the 14th. I started getting early birthday shout outs because I started talking about it early. But I learned from my sister one year, she was born in October, and she started November. She started November the 1st, and she says, I deserve to be celebrated the entire month, not on that one day. So she did something every day for our birthday. And I commend her, because you know what? If you don't learn to celebrate yourself and fall in love with yourself, I'm not talking about being stuck on yourself. I'm talking about loving you, because even the Bible tells us, how can you love someone if you don't first love yourself? So learn how to love on yourself, learn how to take care of yourself, pamper you, and take the time to energize and take care of yourself. Because if you don't, you remember my guest last week, she was a mental health specialist, a certified practitioner. She talked about how people get overloaded and how people have stressors. And a lot of that is simply, here's some preventives. Just simply not taking the time to de-stress, not taking the time to learn how to do you. You know what I'm saying? So for yourself, you just have to figure out how that look. Okay? And you take the time to learn how to celebrate yourself. And when you learn how to celebrate yourself, guess what? You teach other people how to celebrate you and how to appreciate you. You would be surprised how people will learn to respect and honor you when you learn and respect and honor yourself. And you will learn how to respect and honor others when you learn how to respect yourself. So it's a twofold thing. But anyway, welcome to the month of August, because yours truly got on my t-shirt today. You know, they always say, got the t-shirt to prove it. Queen of August. Queens are born in August, the month of August. You know, celebrate the day you were born. But again, don't go anywhere. This will be a wholesome show for you today. We're going to really get into the details of how to become or how to get a hold of Vanessa Johnson, who is my special guest co-host today, and how to fall in love with her designs, how to wear her designs, how to get a hold of her. If you're interested in designing, if you're interested in possibly, taking a journey she took, you'll learn some of those things. And just simply, if you just enjoy fashion, if you enjoy just being around it, in that atmosphere, want to know the ins and outs, get on your social media right now and watch us live right here in the studio, right here from 1:30 to 2:30. I will have the amazing designer Vanessa Johnson here live in the studio. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You're watching the QETV live show with your host, Mrs. H. Tune in at voxwave.com or call in at 240-719-2560. Again, that's 240-719-2560. We're located at 4711 Off Place in Camp Springs, Maryland. Watch live the QETV live show every Thursday from 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Would you like to be a guest on the QETV live show with your host, Mrs. H? You may reach her at 240-353-3806. Again, that's 240-353-3806, or email QETVlive@gmail.com. The QETV live show is bridging inspiration and information for everyday life.
Hello and welcome back to QETV Live Show with your host, Miss H. I hope you had an opportunity to look at some of the ads out there that we put up to show you Vanessa and some of the information about her. I put her portfolio up there. But right now what I'm going to do, I'm going to introduce my special guest co-host. And she's no stranger to some of you all, but to others, you will get to know her and you will be able to follow her. And she's going to tell you how to get a hold of her after this show. So, Vanessa.
Hello.
How art thou?
Thou is well.
I just had to throw that in there since you're creative, so I want to stay creative with you. But since your last show with me, a lot has happened.
Oh, yeah.
Since we last talked. So what I want you to do now is take the time and get us all caught up on who is Vanessa Johnson for the new viewers that are out there, because this is going to go on all my social media platforms after.
Okay.
I'm going to post you all over.
Right.
So I want you to tell everyone, especially for the ones that are the first time that'll be clicking on, who is Vanessa Johnson and what does Vanessa Johnson do and why you want to be remembered and your designer's name, and explain how you picked that name and what inspired you with those fashions.
Okay, well, first and foremost, I would like to give honor and thankful and be thankful to the Lord for blessing me for one, and just waking me up this morning. Well, the name of the brand name is Daje Renee, which is my daughter's name.
Okay.
So is Daje Renee. A lot of people say Deja, but I try to put
Daje.
It's Daje Renee. So I pretty much started right in my kitchen, right at the kitchen table, just buying a sewing machine and just going for it right then and there with mistakes and everything. So, and not giving up when I made a mistake,
Okay.
So I got my first chance of doing a fashion show with Mr. Norman Cole. It was a local fashion show at a school, I believe. And from there, it just kind of escalated from there and doing other shows with him. And then finally, one day I just had the courage to put in like an application for DC Fashion Week. And I got the call back to say that I was accepted, and I was just overwhelmed. I was just so excited about it.
And we're going to get into that about the DC Fashion Week, but I remember from the last interview, we're going to go back just a little bit, because there was some things that piqued my interest, and it may pique some other people that are viewing out there. You told me growing up, because you were tall, that there was clothing that you felt like just didn't fit quite well. So that became a source of strength and inspiration. Take us back to that moment and how old you were, and then bring us forward.
Okay, so I'm the tallest girl. I got 9 brothers and sisters, and I'm the tallest girl. And growing up, Mom, she did what she had to do. She did all that she can do. And when she would buy me clothes, I don't think she would even think about the height of me. She would just think about them fitted. If they fit me around the waist, then you could fit them. But a lot of the times, my pants will be high waters. And in elementary,
what you gotta help the new viewers out there. They don't know. Millennials don't know what high water is.
Okay,
so
well,
kind of like tell us how tall you were and explain high waters.
So if anyone don't know what high waters are, they're pants that comes above your ankles, and they pretty much don't go. They're not long enough for you. The length of the pants are not long enough for you. So back in the day,
there you go. Back in the day, that was not a style.
It was not a style back then. It was you getting joned on. Somebody would be like, your pants. They used to say, pull up your shoes and something. It was some funny stuff they used to say, but that was me, tall and wearing high. But in elementary school, I really didn't care.
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, whatever. I didn't care. But once I started getting to middle school, then I started to realize, oh, this really matters now.
Well, how tall were you?
When I was, let me see, I think in elementary school, I was maybe about 5'5" or 5'6".
Okay.
That was tall for elementary school. And from there, I just shot up. And, and my mom is like only 5'4". It's my dad who's tall, so I get my, height from my dad's side. So I was really tall going through elementary school into middle school all the way up to high school.
Okay.
And I think eventually I stopped growing at like 10th grade, maybe 11th grade. But yeah, it was kind of rough. So I kind of started feeling like I got to do something about this. So that's when I started being creative.
Yeah, you had to get creative.
Yeah, so I had to start cutting my another pair of jeans of mine. I would cut the bottom off, and I would get a needle and thread, didn't matter what color, and I would just sew on, tack it onto the bottom of another pair of jeans, and I would be like, yes, my jeans are touching the ground. And that's how I would start making my jeans. And from there, it just started. I would start cutting my jeans, making them to skirts. I would start putting safety pins on my clothes, and you guys, my sisters and my friends, everybody, I would just do crazy. They'd be like, you dress weird. And I'd be like, well.
So you were a designer at that time and didn't even realize that you were beginning to form your purpose. You were finding purpose, but that purpose came from a need. And pretty much that's what a lot of people say, well, how do I find my passion and how do I find my purpose? A lot of time your passion and your purpose simply come out of a need or come out of solving a problem.
I agree.
So, at a young age, that's why I always encourage mothers, don't ever stagnate their children or discourage them, because you never know why they're doing what they're doing. They could be discovering your purpose. So, you get that call. DC Fashion Week called you, and then what was it like? What was the atmosphere like when they call you and say, okay, we want you to come in and bring your fashions?
Wow, it was amazing. They sent the email, and when I first got the email back, when I looked at it, I think I overlooked the whole part of approved, and I just went straight into reading what the email said, and I'm like, okay, I'm reading down, and I go back up and I say, oh. I said, oh, wow, I got approved. And I was like, I didn't even realize. I went right past it, just skipped right over it, and went right to the email and read what it was saying. But I was just filled with joy, and I just was like, God, thank you so much. And then more to make folk, I'm like, I got to get to work.
Well, let me ask you now, here you apply to become one of their emerging designers.
Yes.
And usually what the Fashion Week is made up of, because my son was in Phoenix Fashion Week, what is made up of is emerging designers. That means people who want to showcase their skills and talents. And they also bring back people who want to come back, who have been in the show, and they don't take everybody. They pick and choose some of the top and some of the best that they feel like are emerging designers. So had you made pieces to go into the show prior to that? Were you ready?
No, at all.
You were
I was not ready at all.
So you prayed for an opportunity. The opportunity came, and you weren't ready.
I was not ready.
So
I did
how
not have an outfit.
did you get ready?
Oh my God! So it's a lot of stuff that has to be done, but it all consists of being a designer.
Okay.
So it wasn't nothing outside of the box where you got to do all some crazy stuff. But it all consists of doing things that's going to lead up to the day of the show.
Okay.
So it's like a lookbook. You got to do press release.
Come on.
And you got to do bios and all kinds of things. So I wasn't ready for it because I'd never been to a fashion show on that level.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I had clothes from previous shows, but they were like, what I started off with, as you you advance more in your designs and you grow in what you make. So I just had to get ready immediately. I had to create a lookbook.
Yes.
So I had to create 10 outfits I think I did it within 2 weeks, just to create a lookbook, and that wasn't even for the fashion show.
And tell the viewers what a lookbook is.
A lookbook is pretty much like a catalog. It gives you an idea of the designer, aesthetic, and it just give you pictures and just show you the creativity and how the designer make clothes and things like that.
Yeah, and the thing is, did you hear what she says? Sometimes you are asking for opportunities, but some of us are not ready. So within that 2 weeks, she created because they give you a long list of things to do, and you have to have it professionally done, because now you're presenting to a group of people that possibly will take your fashion and your design and then could possibly help you manufacture and wholesale them. So really, you're putting your best foot forward. So it's not like she could just throw 10 pieces together and don't care about the look. So now you get your lookbook together, you get your bio ready, you get the clothes ready. Bring us up to what it was like days before. I'm going to throw up while you're talking some pictures, because I have some pictures from last year from her previous show, and I was able to be a part of her show and was able to be there for her and to kind of capture some of it on screen. So tell us, well, let me go back to this picture. This is last year picture when she was in September of 2018. Tell us what it was like leading up to this first collection of yours.
Well, of course, it's like you want to put your best foot forward. You want to go all out, and fashion is all about expressing yourself out loud, and that's how I believe. That's how the way I look at fashion. It's like an art to me. So going forward with the show, it was like, you got to get the fabric, and I'm not a sketcher. I'm not a sketcher. I don't sketch. It's just I have to start on my designs, and then the creativity starts coming. Then it starts rolling in. So I thank God for that, because even though I'm not a person who sketch, because a lot of people got to sketch just to see what they're going to make, I just pretty much start making things, and then God just started giving it to me like that. So that's just how I work. I tell people that I'm self-taught, but I'm God taught. So it's amazing. So coming up on this show, after I did the 10 looks for the lookbook, I immediately got started on the show, and I was working so hard and working so like every day, nights, mornings, overnight, that the date came up on me so fast that I was like, oh. It was the week of the show, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's the week of the show. Then that's when I started getting like nervous, like, okay, do I got everything together? And come to find out, after I finished everything, I looked to see I had over my goal, the set goal.
It back to us, Ron.
The set goal was 20 garments. I actually made like 24, because I wasn't counting. I was just making. I was just going for it.
You did all of that in 2 weeks.
I did all of that within a month in some weeks. It's like a month and some weeks. I made like over 20 outfits, plus the 10 that I had to do for the lookbook, because I registered late. I registered for DC Fashion Week the day before the registration deadline ended, and I got the email saying that I was approved a couple of days later.
So you had to catch up. And it's not like you were able to, from the time you got up in the morning to the time you went to bed. You also work full time.
Absolutely.
And as a family, has a family. So in addition to that, it sounded like you did not get a lot of sleep.
At all. I mean, nights where I would be up with the son, we would wake up together. And on the nights where I didn't have to go to work the next day, like if it was the weekend, the way days that I'm off, I was up. No sleep. I was up because I had to make sure that I got it done. I had to make sure I got it done. Then when I did have to work, I had to cut it off at a certain time. And then that was like, okay, I got it. Then when I get home from work, I got to make sure the kids are fed, the house is clean, chores, and things like that. Still being a mother and trying to be a designer and following my dreams at the same time.
But you know what was going on, Vanessa? That was that passion driving you, because I heard a famous minister say, and he was also one of my favorite mentors from afar. He's deceased now, but he used to say that when you're passionate about something, it drives you to the point that he says sleep interrupts my vision.
Wow.
And I was like, that's deep.
That's deep.
And at that time when he said that, I knew I had not tapped into my passion or my vein, because I ain't let nothing interrupt my sleep. But he says not that you don't go to sleep. But sometimes you can be so into what you're doing and so focused minded and so purpose driven that sleeps interrupts.
Absolutely.
But thank God that he gives us sleep
Yes.
to interrupt. Otherwise, some people who are very passionate about something could go nonstop and knock their body completely out of whack. And then that leads to other things. But that sound like that adrenaline was going. You just now got started with your purpose, your vision. You're creating that lookbook. You're creating those designs. This thing is flowing like water.
Yes.
And now, the day before, I remember when I was introduced to Vanessa, she invited me out to Media Day, and she had not revealed her design. So I want to go quickly to another picture here that I'm going to put up on the screen. On Media Day, oops, I'm going too fast. Let me go back to the other design. This is from Media Day, that when I went out to see Vanessa on Media Day, I wore her skirt. This is a design from Daje Renee from her previous collection. I didn't wear her collections that was going up on the show, but I wore that and I felt amazing and I felt real good. As you can see, I got me a picture behind the curtain, DC Fashion Week. And then there's Vanessa and her sister, Antoinette. We all were so excited for her. But that still was not your debut.
No,
that was just Media Day to introduce her to the media and put some buzz out there to invite people. So now take us forward to the day of the show, because I know behind the scenes it was static going on, chaos going on.
It's just like whoosh, 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 people running back and forth.
Because you have to provide your own models.
No, actually, they DC Fashion Week has an audition for models in there.
Oh, you know
people
what? You're
come
right.
out. Yeah,
you did tell me that.
We go pick our models. So hundreds of people show up for auditions.
Okay.
Yeah, so we go as a designer, we just go pick the models that we want to use.
Okay, so you get to pick when they select from the audition, then out of the auditions, the ones that get chosen, the designers get to go and pick theirs.
Yeah, and even in the auditions, even if it's one model that a designer didn't pick, if a designer want that model, that's the model that they get because they're representing their clothes,
right?
You know, so it's a this is your design, this is who I want to walk it. You know, you either like the way she walk, her height, you know, her size or figure or anything like that. So we pick our own models. Hundreds and hundreds of models come out to audition, so it's open to everyone.
Yeah, because actually I remember meeting one of Vanessa models that models for you quite often. The young lady and her mother was there. She did an amazing job. Shout out her name again.
Murray Noel. She is amazing.
Yes,
and she actually did the lookbook with me. She was my model for the lookbook.
That's when I saw your lookbook. I got a sneak preview into the lookbook. She did an amazing job that night. And actually, we got a picture of her. We're going to show you a picture of her in a few minutes. But back there she is. Ron, if you could put that up for me, that screen. She's wearing the black.
Yes.
And then your other model on the other side of you, what is her name?
I have no idea.
Oh, it's okay. You know who you are.
I've been working with Murray Noel since Norman Cole, since my very first fashion show.
Okay.
So she was with me since. So I know her because we go back a little further than that.
Now,
so,
will she be one of your models this year?
I'm not sure if she auditioned this year.
Okay.
You know, she auditioned last year. I picked her last year. So she was actually
so they
in my
have
show.
to audition as well.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Everyone has to audition. Doesn't matter if you
do
previously modeled before, and I can't just bring somebody with me and say, hey, I want her with me. Everyone has to audition.
Got you.
So even if I want that person, I can't just bring them on. They have to go to the audition, register first. Then you can come to the audition.
You hear that? Okay, that's good. So if you're interested in being a model, and we have information about that, later in the show that if you're interested in maybe modeling for Dajé Renee Designs and getting to know this whole process, if you're a model or you feel like, and hey ladies, don't let size stop you, because I met a designer that was there that did full figures.
Oh yeah.
And them tell me they brought it. They brought it. Men, come on, we love those male models, did an outstanding job.
Yes,
and I saw a little girl.
Oh yeah,
that little girl was
that lady
tough.
Did couture. Oh,
Couture, yeah, she wasn't I can tell she had been
She been
rehearsed. She
trained.
been trained because
trained.
she did not make a mistake.
Yes.
She was poised.
Yes, she was.
She knew how to walk. She knew how to work the camera. That little girl worked
She had
that
the face
camera.
and everything.
She
She
did.
was ready.
So if you feel like you got all of that and you can do it, then you know what? Go out for the audition. Go on DC Fashion Week. Go to their website and find out about the audition. Or if you know someone, you know, get in touch. And if you lose all this information, Vanessa's going to tell you how to get a hold of her, and she can tell you more about it. Now, let's talk about the show. Tell me what happened. Okay, the curtains come. Now it's time for your first model to walk out. How many girls walked out with your look?
20. It was 20 looks. It was chaos. It's chaos in the back because in a moment's time, it's over.
Yes.
Because you spend so much time creating these garments, getting things done, and going through the mistakes and whatever. And my mistakes, I always say my mistakes become my masterpiece.
Of course.
Yeah, so I don't look at it as a mistake. Whatever I make a mistake, I just turn it into a masterpiece.
Okay.
But behind stage, it's like you have to get ready like that.
Yes,
and then
you do.
it's over like that. It's like, that's it. But it's such an overwhelming feeling that you feel so like, yes. And then when it's time for, when all the models go out, they do the flood, and then the designers go out, and you like go out and wave at everyone, and just be thankful that that opportunity was given to you, and that you had opportunity to show the world who you are through your clothes.
Yes.
So I felt amazing. Even though it went quick, but it was a quick adrenaline rush that I felt so amazing. After the show, I was like, okay, so now you go to the back, man, you got to get all the clothes up. You got to get the clothes together, make sure everything's in order. It's a process.
Yeah.
It's a process.
A lot of people see the designs, they buy them out of the store. You get to see the fashion, you get to see the style, you get to see the lights, the bling, and all the shine, but you don't realize it's WORK, it's work.
Absolutely.
I worked for a fashion school for 7 years, FIDM, and they train designers. And like you says, we're saying chaos, some of it is controlled chaos. So we're using that word because you can but think about if you got 50 to 60 designers behind this stage, and each one of them got 10 to 20 models, and everybody got to change in a split second. You got makeup artists, you got hairdressers, you got, assistants there. So that's why we're saying all the chaos behind the stage. But when you're sitting in the audience, you just paid for your ticket, you sitting there looking beautiful, and you're waiting on everybody to walk out and look glamorous.
Absolutely.
So you don't get to see that, but we're just giving you some behind the scene. And then when it's all over, like you said, now you got to do the cleanup.
Yeah.
You got to, a lot of times people have to return things, because I know when my son was in Phoenix Fashion Week, he had a lot of accessories from 5 different major brands.
Oh, okay.
And he had to return expensive shoes, expensive accessories, belts, and wallets and all that stuff, where they were all guys. So
it was a guy fashion.
Yeah, but it was men and women, but it was all guys in his show. But some of them did have those European bags where young business professionals put over their themselves to carry instead of carrying a briefcase, they carried the bags over. So he had a lot of those leather bags from different companies, and the next day, it took him 2 days to return all that stuff because you got to drive around and go to all these places.
Oh, so
you got to make sure you keep the inventory. So there's a lot that goes into it. Yeah.
Yeah. When I first got there, immediately I rolled my cart in, and the models just rushed me.
Oh,
like,
wow.
They just and I just turn around. It's like 15, 20 models just standing behind me, and it's a person back there that keep things in order.
Right.
She's like, wait a minute, hold up. We're not going to do this like this.
Yes,
you have
a
couple of people at a time.
Control back there.
Yeah, it has to be controlled because people, they were ready. They're aspiring models and things stuff too, so they want to be seen in the spotlight and want to wear your design so that people can pretty much probably pick them up too as well. So it's they were ready. They just rushed me. I was like, give me 1 second.
And if you guys can't relate to what we're saying, for most of you can, because you either have seen a fashion show, been a part of the fashion show, or if you've ever seen Project Runway, that will give you a real live look into what professionals go through to get picked, get chosen, create designs, modeling, the critiquing, because then the critiquing come. Because now when it's all over, you got to go out in the audience and shake hands. What was that like?
Just to network with people and just to get people's feedback on what they saw and things like that. For the most part, I got a lot of good feedback. People were coming to me telling me that they like my designs. They like that, I show color and things like that. And a lot of times I be wanting to do like solid colors just to be like, I'm going to do this color and this color.
Okay.
But then once I saw creating and once I saw designing, the colors just come. They just go
You know what? And speaking of color, I want to go directly to some of the colors that you highlighted in the fashion show. Ron, if you could put that up for me, please. I noticed some contrast in your color design, but what really piqued my interest was I saw this color on your business card too. Was that the inspiring piece that pulled it together? Or was that a coincidence?
Well, I don't really know. I don't think it was a coincidence. I think it just came because I like color. So I didn't look on my business card to say, okay, this color, that color. But no, I just went to the store, broke the colors, and I just came home with the paint, and I just went for it.
Well, tell us about design, because this looks amazing. The design. Tell us the inspiration behind this design.
Okay, so this design, I was inspired by art.
You can tell the.
I was inspired by art. The design came from. I just wanted to be different. I just wanted to have a wow factor in my garment. I did this with really literally my hands. I painted this with my fingers, and the very special and awesome thing about it, this paint actually glows in the dark. So if you turn off the lights, so if you turn off the lights, the whole garment would just glow up because it's glow in the dark paint. So it was such a from scratch. I'm a YouTuber, so I YouTube a lot of videos. That's how I learn a lot too as well. So I look at a lot of videos on how to do stuff, and I just put my own spin to it.
Now, were the audience able to see the glow?
Well, they wasn't because they didn't turn.
They didn't dim the lights.
They didn't dim the lights. This wasn't DC Fashion Week though.
Oh, which?
This is New York Fashion Week.
This was New York. Now we're gonna jump forward. Go ahead on while you're at it. Talk about. That was the next process. You done went from DC Fashion Week, all the excitement, all the hype. Look, now you got a little bit of experience under your shoulder. You can throw your head back, your shoulders square. So now, what made you think you can step forward and now leave DC and go on down the road, on down the road to New York?
It was amazing, and I did it right after I did because I was hungry for more.
You wanted more.
I wanted more after that show, and I'm like, okay, God, what's next? Like, what we doing now? Like, I need another something to do. Like, I need to keep going because I was still pumped up from DC Fashion Week. So I just did the same thing I did with DC Fashion Week. Put the application in. And I got the phone. This time I got a phone call from the producer. And he told me, he asked me a couple of questions, and I just got approved from there over the phone. And that's when I started on this collection.
Oh,
So I had to I gave myself a little while to rest because the New York Fashion Week wasn't until February, and I think I applied like in October.
Okay.
So I had some time. I had some time this time, so I didn't immediately go into what I was going to do. I had a little bit of time, rest a little bit, and then I started on working. So that's how that worked.
Now, how many pieces did you have to have for this collection?
Same, 20.
You had to do a 20-piece collection?
Yeah, 20 is, you could do, I think you can do more, but I chose 20.
Now, this time you're leaving out of D.C., going into New York. What was the transition like? Because now you got to travel. This is now double work because you're not home anymore. No. You got to go to New York. You got to find a place to stay. The models are there in New York, right? The models are there. Okay, so that's a plus for you. But you got to take all your pieces. What was it like traveling? Because I remember when I, as a college representative, some of the students that was in Phoenix Fashion Week from Los Angeles, they were not able because some of the designers, their clothes was so, it had to be sent forward by UPS, and it was very expensive to send. One lady, her designs were formal wear, and she could not like fold them up, crush them up. She had to send them, so she had to decline being in Phoenix Fashion Week because it was too expensive to ship.
To ship it there.
You know, especially when you're an emerging designer. Because you want them to look pristine.
That's right.
So what was it like trying to travel with your design, getting them together and be ready for that big show?
Well, up until, going to the show, we traveled. At first we were going to do at first I thought about doing the bus. Then I was like, not a bus, but like flying up there just to make it quick and easy, get up there quick. I thought about that. But then I was like, no, that's more expenses and things like that. So I'm like, we're trying to save money, trying to, make sure when we get there. But I had already, once I got approved for New York Fashion Week, I had already booked the hotel.
Okay.
So that was already in place. It was just now, how am I going to get there? So, me and Frank decided, like, let's just drive. So we drove up there. What was it, like 7 hours, traffic and all. We get to the hotel, and I got all the clothes in garment bags laid out in the back. It's like nobody couldn't come with me. I wanted to bring the kids with me, but I'm like, I need all the space I can get.
Space. Yeah.
So I just had all the clothes laid out in the back, and I didn't bring my rack, but the hotel has clothing racks anywhere. But we got there, they were trying to charge us to use the rack, so we just carried the clothes upstairs, and in the hotel. And actually, the hotel that I stayed in was where the fashion show was going to be.
Oh, that's awesome! Because now you get the environment. Of everything that's going on and all the buzz and everything.
Yeah, so we were actually in the hotel where the fashion show was going to be. So it didn't like I have to take the clothes out again. Travel again.
So that's important.
So trying to stay even closest to the hotel as you can, or trying to get to the hotel, because a lot of the shows goes on in a lot of hotels. That's where a lot of fashion shows happen. So if you can get to the hotel or even close to the hotel, that's where you want to go. Don't go too far, because that's a lot of stress on you. We had to be there for just, and then it reminds you, I didn't get a chance to pick my models because they were in New York. So the day of the show, that's when I picked my models. I'm looking at people like, y'all want her? I want her. Y'all want her?
So they were really who was left?
Yeah, no, it was models that was in the show, but I just picked who I wanted when I got there.
Okay, that's
I didn't get a chance to go to the auditions or the fittings or any of that. So I just went that morning, and then I started seeing the people. Then we just went from there. But.
So what was the contrast or the comparison between the two shows? I mean, now you got one under your belt, so you feel a little bit confident. But what were you concerned? What were your greatest concern with the second show in New York?
Well, with the second show, I didn't have my beautiful sister with me.
Oh, Antoinette, did you hear that?
Yeah.
She missed you.
I didn't have her with me in New York because she was with me at DC Fashion Week.
Okay.
And she was back there with the clothes and hanging the stuff up, you know, and when the models help me get the models ready and stuff like that. So at New York Fashion Week, I was back there by myself.
Wow.
You know, Frank was with me, but Frank couldn't come in the back with me.
Yes.
So I was back there by myself. Then my girlfriend came up there but she came to see the show. So she wasn't allowed in the back, or I could have invited her back, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna let you enjoy the show. So she kind of just sat in the audience. But you know, having other people help you with your clothes,
that makes a difference.
Yeah, so that makes a lot of difference. Just the help, just in the back, because you got to get a lot of people dressed. You got to make sure if you want, you know, certain ways how you want people to wear your clothes. You want to make sure it's on them right, making sure they're not alternating how you put it, because they're models and they're modeling your design. So you have to model it the way they want you. I want you to model it. So it was a lot. It was different because of that.
Yes.
But everything other than that, it was the same. Because the controlled chaos, as you said, is still the same. And, you know, back and forth models, back and forth running. They got, and it's other designers back there.
Yes.
It's plenty of, so they got to get dressed for this designer. Then right after they do my designs, then they have to go to another design. They have to get out the clothes. And they don't mean no harm, because they have to take your clothes and probably throw it over the rack to get your stuff to you. And a lot of them are really respectful in that way, not to just throw yourself on the floor. So it's a lot goes on in the backstage, but nothing really different about the shows that I've seen so far that's so different. We started late, but that's, you know, that was it.
Well, do you feel like, because we're a little biased of our own, that DC versus the New York, if someone, an emerging designer, says, I can't be in both, even though I feel like I would qualify for both, but of course you got to register and qualify.
Exactly.
Which one would you, or you are biased to maybe one or the other because you live here, which one would you recommend that a new emerging designer be a part of?
Well, I would say, because, you know, I'm representing DC.
All right,
you know, so
bring it in.
I gotta go with, you know, you have to just start somewhere.
Exactly.
You know? And either if it's DC or if it's New York, if you can get to DC without traveling and expenses and gas money and stuff like that, go there. You know, go where it's convenient for you. You know, so if you in New York, if you live in New York, just try New York. If you in San Francisco, try in San Francisco.
Exactly.
You know, so that's how I see it. Like, it doesn't matter which show. It just matter about if it's convenient for you, if it's affordable, if you don't have to travel and spend money. But, you know, it is what it is. But DC, I went to New York representing
DC, and I'm sure you represented well. What was the response like? And then I'm going to put up the date for the new DC Fashion Week and the audition. What was the response like when you finish your
the
show?
New York Fashion Week one?
Yes,
it was amazing. A lot of people always say that they're so glad that I show color. You know, because people design, they seem to stick to, I'm gonna do black, white, and red, or I'm gonna do black and white, and not to say there's something that's wrong with that, but that's just not me. I like color. I like to express myself differently and with color. So when I did this, and actually those pieces that are painted, I wanted the crowd to be wowed by those garments. So I got a lot of great responses from it. I did a few interviews after the show, and it turned out pretty good. It turned out better than I thought, because I was nervous because I was in New York. And it's like, that's one of the #1 fashions. Yeah. So I was like, this is New York. I'm trying to get close. I'm trying to get the Project Runway. That's what I'm trying to get to. But
then you got to head back to California.
I thought it was in New York.
Did they
change it?
No, they actually, because I worked at FIDM, and they did a lot of their broadcasting right there in LA. Oh, wow. So in the studios of LA, so Project Runway. So that's your next stop. And then Phoenix Fashion Week. Phoenix is really coming up, because they pretty much can pull some of the LA designers, because Phoenix is like in proximity to, just like how DC is to New York. A lot of
Okay.
people go back and forth from Phoenix to LA, from LA to Phoenix.
Oh, yeah.
So, now you got to start getting your foot wet. Okay, so now we're going to tell everyone, put it up on the screen for me, Ron, the
audition?
dates. Well, we're going to start with the date. The date for your DC Fashion Week, and tell them, encourage them to go and register for that and come see you.
Okay, well, the upcoming show for 2019 DC Fashion Week will be the 27th through the 29th. The 27th is where Ian Williams, the director of DC Fashion Week,
Oh, okay, I remember
he's going
him.
to do his private show on the 27th. So that's like
Oh, okay.
the opening of DC. No, actually, the 21st is H Street Festival. So it's on H Street, Northeast. So they're going to have
Oh.
a fashion show. It's called H Street Festival. That's on the 21st. And the 27th is...
Now, is that open to the public?
Oh, yeah, and that's
Okay.
it's open to the public, and that's free.
Oh,
yeah, that's free.
okay.
You just go, and I think it's outside. So
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so that's the 21st of September 2019. Then the 27th is where Ian is going to present his private collection by invitation only.
Oh, that's by invitation
Yeah,
only.
That's by invitation only. And the 28th is where the emerging designers, myself and other designers, will be presenting their garments and things like that. And the 29th is where Ian is going to do it's the International Contour show. It's going to be at the Embassy of France.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So
so-
if they go to the website, they can see
You
all
can
of
go
that.
to
DC
DCFashionWeek.org and you just go to the website, go to tickets, and purchase your tickets if you want to come to the show on the 28th with
Okay.
emerging designers, or the International Contour show on the 29th.
Okay, so actually, if you look on the screen now, I put it on your calendar. If you want to see Daje Renee designs, if you want to meet her in person after the show, she will come and shake your hand, say hello to her, take a picture with her. Put it on your calendar, DC Fashion Week, September the 27th through the 29th. But you will see her on the 28th and see her designs. But like she says, there's other things that are going on that's leading up to DC Fashion Week. So go check them out on their personal website. Now, she mentioned that if you were interested in, I'm going to put this up, auditioning, tell them about the modeling auditioning.
Yes, the auditioning is this Sunday coming up, August the 11th. You will have to have registered first. I don't know if the deadline has already come
and gone.
for
Okay.
registration, but if you have already registered, you can come to the audition on August 11th,
Okay.
or just try to go to the website and see if the registrations are still open. But you have to register first before you can audition.
Okay, now tell them how they can find you, how to get in touch with Daje Renee Fashion.
Okay, well, you can find me on all not on all social media platforms, but I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. You can Gmail me at dajereneedesigns@gmail.com. I'm on Facebook and just on social media platforms, and you can reach me there and just reach out to me and let me know what you think about fashion, what's your expect on fashion and things like that. If you got a question, if you got if you want to know the process and how it works and things like that, I'm open to answering questions, even with the drama that comes with it. It's not like it's like bad drama, but it's a process as you go, and it's not one day you do it and the next day it's done. You have to put in work. So that's what it
Awesome.
is.
Again, you heard it first here on the QETV live show. I cannot believe that it's already 2:30, but I have to sign off now. Vanessa, it's such a pleasure, and to be honest, look at you. You do love color. You have on a scarf with a lot of the design colors that's in your one of your collections, but she loves fashion. You can tell she loves inspiration. She loves to inspire people through her clothing. And she says, your clothes sometimes tell people about who you are. And if that's something that you are interested in, she shared with you some behind the scenes. She was brave enough to expose herself to you and tell you about her story. Many of you may have some stories and may want to be an upcoming designer, or if you just want to come simply to enjoy the show, you're welcome to do that. Yeah. But Vanessa, I want to thank you so much. I'm going to continue to follow you because I know you're going places. You can see the passion in your eye. You can see the inspiration in what it is you do. And one moment or one person that, you know, can come and connect with you and partner with you and can change your life. Just like that one letter you got inspired you. I got to create my lookbook and got to do this. And now you in New York Fashion Week, and it's not going to stop. Don't ever stop creating.
Okay, I won't.
You know, keep designing. And my goal is let me know when Media Day is so I can come and support you.
By tomorrow.
Okay, come and support you. But we don't want just me. We want all of you out there to come on down, represent the DMV, come to DC Fashion Week, and see Vanessa Johnson on September the 28th. Come and look at her design. Come and tell her hello and tell her you saw her on the QETV live show with your host, Miss H. Yes, you may.
Okay, so I just want to give a shout out to my hairstylist.
Please give it a shout out to all of them, and then we're gonna close.
So my hairstylist is Kendra. She did my hair. She's an amazing braider.
Oh, it looks good.
She does the braids. She does twists, goddess locks. She does regular hair, regular locks, and things like that. She's amazing at doing hair. Her name is Kendra. You can find her on Instagram at Kendra on her Instagram page, and check her out. Check out her pictures. The pictures don't lie. The girl is good. She's really good. She's been doing this for a long time. I think she was 14.
You look amazing. So your hair is going to look good in the show, and people are going to ask. So, but that's good because you need all of that. But we're going to sign off now. I got my cue. It's time to go. We love you again. Thank you, Vanessa, for joining me. And thank you out there for watching QETV Live Show with your host, Miss H, and my special guest, Vanessa Johnson with Daje Renee Design. We will see you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.